This is why from the fund we are advocating to think about this world of digital money as a global public good.
Inflation is a very serious subject. You can argue it's the way democracies die. So it's a huge danger once you've got a populace that learns it can vote itself money. If you look at the Roman Republic, they inflated the currency steadily for hundreds of years, and eventually the whole damn Roman Empire collapsed. So it's the biggest long-run danger we have, probably, apart from nuclear war. The safe assumption for an investor is that over the next 100 years, the currency is going to zero. That's my working hypothesis.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, I come back with that video just to make you think. And Charlie Munger says the dollar's going to zero in 100 years. Guys, it's already worthless. It's already zero. But they have the savior. Cryptocurrencies and the digital dollar. Remember, crypto means hidden message, hidden meaning. These cryptos are for the robots, algorithms, and drones while the sheep go inside the metaverse. And what did the IMF say? This is for the global good. And she also states that all countries are moving in the same direction with digital money. But the first one, of course, is China. We know the fall of America to Babylon and the rise of China the dragon, with that digital yuan for total surveillance, backed by that digital SDR. And remember, the crypto teacher wrote about it a long time ago, because he knows when it comes to the New World Order, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
And return on something that is not backed by any assets. How would we normally call this thing? We would call it a pyramid. In other words, this is a pyramid in the digital age. But we should not be mistaken to immediately classify everything in the digital money world in a negative way, because there are three categories. The first one is central bank digital currencies. They are backed by the state, and they offer finality when transactions are settled. This is a universe that, as you said, 90% of countries are exploring. Who crossed the finish line first? The Bahamas with the sand dollar. But now we have Nigeria stepping there, and there are many pilots, of which the largest universe of a pilot, which actually made me wake up and say, well, this thing is moving so fast that the International Monetary Fund has to embrace it. China with a pilot with 128 million participants. Now, the second group, these are the stable coins. Some of them deserve the name because they are backed by assets, and when they're backed by assets 1-to-1, they're really stable. They look a little bit like money market funds, but they're money market funds in this digital space. And then we have lower degree of stability. The less there is a backing, the more you should be prepared to take the risk of this thing blowing in your face, which is what happened some days ago. I want to be very, very direct that I do feel for the people who lost money, because part of the reason they lost money is not really being well educated on this new investment world. And I want to go to the third universe, the crypto that is really not pretending to be backed up by anything, not designed to be backed up by anything. It is really the trust that is built in a way that brings value. It is an investment class. When we say, I always get upset and then I get occasional hate tweets when I say that Bitcoin may be called coin, but it's not money. Why? Because a prerequisite for something to be money is to be a stable store of value. So you actually can plan around it. And when the first country embraced Bitcoin, and I was asked, what did we think at the fund? I said, well, it's a sovereign decision, doesn't make it a good decision. And now we have another country that
You actually said to me,
embraced
just
that.
because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yes.
And I'll never forget that. But
Yes, that's very true. So my point here is that there are very important responsibilities for the central banks and also for other regulators of financial services, regulators of this asset class, to make sure that everybody can step into this world with some confidence that we understand that for CBDCs, the biggest question is interoperability. How are they going to connect to each other? But for stable coins, for crypto assets, it is responsibility for some regulation and financial education. I would beg you not to pull out of the importance of this world because of what Julia said. It offers us all faster service, much lower cost, and more inclusion. But only if we separate apples from oranges and bananas. And that is our job. We have a huge responsibility to do it well.
We're going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
This effort. And China has big plans for this. They intend to seed their digital yuan into the global environment by giving it away to visitors at next winter's Olympics. When they arrive at the airport, they're going to get yuan digital wallets. They're going to receive digital yuan. They're going to use it throughout their visits to Beijing, and then they're going to take it back to their home countries. They see this as a huge advantage. Why? Because who controls the underlying protocols, who controls the underlying standards of the future of money will control the future of money.
Most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids' books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York Long COVID 33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.